up. He's patient, and he's letting that switch come. He knows he's going to get a big man, and then he knows he's got the advantage, and he's taking it to the rim, or he's hitting a good jumper.
Look, just to go up to your point yet again, it's when I looked at the numbers and I saw that he scored 28 points total all last year in 14 games. I was like, wait a minute, is that a misprint? Just the way that he's playing this year? And he's a young man who's really turned it up a lot, and he's also been able to score 20 or more points in 3 games this year.
Well, I think one thing that the Cowboys do can do this Cowboys team has a very versatile line. I think they can go play small ball. So you can bring Harrison, you can bring Jericho in there, and 3 guards. Switch all of that. He's not going to have Sadi guarding him on the switch, and then it's going to make it harder for him to score that ball.
Full court press being used by Dartmouth. It's being broken. Bennett could have shot it way up. Decided against it. Now here comes the Cowboys into their offense. Get past the zone. It's giving them problems all day and almost stolen away. It is stolen away by Brandon Dave Mitchell. Giving it up the left, swatted away. Paul Saxton says, get that out of here. Bennett with the take, the horn. No call, but he'll get the layup to fall.
I love the way they're letting these guys play. I tell you, that is a little bit of contact. They're not calling everything. Let these guys play. Some big athletic bodies out there, and this is how the game should be played. Let them get up and down a little bit.
There's going to be a foul. This time it'll be the blocking variety. That'll be overwhelming. That'll be their 17th foul. There's a lot of fouls being called on Miami. Again, let's look back at that block. Kareem Thomas thought he had an easy layup. Saxton says, not today.
Saxton got the ball taken away from him on the offensive end, but I tell you, didn't give up on the play. Didn't pout about it. Jogged his way down. He took off, got down before, got that block, and saved the bucket.
Kareem Thomas to the free throw line. 85% free throw shooting. Shooting through 1 and 1. And the first one's no good. By the way, the foul was on Caden Bennett. That's his first personal foul. Cowboys down by 1. Asmeyer, the reigning Mountain West Freshman of the Week. Gives it to Rojas. Pushes off the floater on the way. Can't find a way home. Tried to get his own rebound, and it was harmed on the way up.
Yeah, well, Dartmouth came back out man-to-man, and the Cowboys noticed it right away and got to the rim. I don't think they'll stay in man-to-man. After I see what happened on that possession, I think they're going to probably come back to that zone.
Well, you always want to change things up defensively, right? Is that you want to go and say, hey, let's go and change things up ever so often, and immediately the only time that you go to man-to-man is that's when the Cowboys goes and attacks immediately. Speaking of attacking, if you're a fan of Wyoming Athletics, why don't you go and do this? Because there's no better way to be in the game than through membership in the Cowboy Joe Club. For as little as $100 a year, you can make a direct impact on Wyoming student athletes while earning top-tier benefits. Visit cowboyjoe.com to learn more. Join today. No free throws missed by Rojas. So Dartmouth still up by 1. Sliding up a long 3-pointer that rattles in and out. No good. Missed by McAdoo.
I think you were open for a reason. You're at 27 feet. I mean, come on now.
Well, he shot that one from Casper. So, well, then Bennett tried to respond back, and he misses that one. So apparently Casper has a whole lot of residence. 22-21's our score. Dartmouth shooting 58% from the floor. 4 of 8 from deep. You're saying half of their shots are from downtown.
But I think the Cowboys did what we talked about. They have a much more laterally a better team defensively on the court right now.
You better figure out a way to get a hand in the face of number 30, Connor Anderson, his 3rd triple. Dartmouth now leading by 4, their biggest lead of the afternoon. See the Cowboys a little bit out of sorts, it looks like, on offense. 12 seconds on the clock. Rojas with the drive, the layup, and it's good with the right hand. Good job by Rojas. He now has 4.
Dartmouth went right back to that matchup zone that they were, had so much success to start the ball game with. And it that was a late shot clock. It took a while for the Cowboys to realize where that opportunity is going to be.
Well, that ball thrown away, a 2-on-1 opportunity, and it's going to be a lay-in. Nice job. The assist.
Dallas made a great decision in the open court. Nice bounce pass.
is really coming into his own. Another starter for Wyoming, Mukasa being the other of last year. 25-25 is our score. One thing Coach McLaughlin talked about was protecting the basketball. Didn't like that last possession. Stepping through Saxton with another block. He leads the Cowboys in blocks. Already has 2 this afternoon. And you can see just why he's doing so well defensively. As the Cowboys, down by as much as 4, have tied things up at 25 apiece.
Fremont Motors is a proud sponsor of Wyoming athletics. From the field to the court, we're cheering on the Cowboys and Cowgirls every step of the way. As Wyoming's largest dealership group, we've been locally owned and operated since 1938, driven by the spirit that makes this state great. With 10 brands and 13 locations, we're here to help you score big. Shop hundreds of new and used vehicles at FremontMotors.com.
Fremont Motors and the Pokes. We are Wyoming.
You plan your next great adventure. Why not plan to review your health insurance? Open enrollment is here, and now is the time to see how upcoming changes can impact your plan. The local experts at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming can help you navigate these changes and work to find a health insurance option that best fits your needs. When you choose Blue, you get personalized healthcare support, earn rewards for preventive care, and have 24/7 access to telehealth services. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. It all starts with a plan. Contact us to learn more.
Hi, my name is Maddie Simmons and I play basketball at Wyoming. Over the years as an athlete, I've faced my own mental health struggles and I think it's important to shed light on them because these are battles most people never see. My perfectionism has been both a blessing and a curse. It has pushed me to be the athlete I am, however, it has also caused anxiety that has held me back. I believe everyone is fighting battles behind closed doors and the only way to overcome them is to face them. Mental health is a determining factor between failure and success, and that is why it's so important to me.
Tied up at 25 apiece with 7:46 to go. Dartmouth taking on Wyoming. And this is the second time these two teams have played. The last time these teams have played were on New Year's Eve in 1998, where the Cowboys won 76-47. And you may be wondering, how are things back in 1998? Well, let me tell you, the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl. That's what I know. But also, a gallon of gas only cost you $1.06. How about a movie ticket? $4.69. A Taco Bell taco, 59 cents. By the way, did you want an iPhone? Because there was no such thing as an iPhone. Oh, by the way, internet speed, 28, kilobytes? Is that it? Only 28 kilobytes. And here's the fun part, the one on the bottom. 37.5% of today's production crew was not even born yet, which includes also our director for the afternoon.
Justin, the leading scorer in that ball game, Ugo Desaway for the Cowboys. His daughter is on the volleyball team here at the University of Wyoming.
Well, I'll tell you what, one guy who can do well in any type of situation is Anderson, another 2. He now has 11 points. Leading the way in all scores, and Anderson, a guy who came from California, was a top 25 recruit out of California, as we have found. It's going to be on Kareem Thomas. But Anderson, again, is one of those guys who was the Fresno Sports Magazine Player of the Year, was the NBN Magazine Player of the Year, and also the Fresno Beat Player of the Year. What I'm pretty much trying to say is he's pretty good, folks. Naz Meyer, he says, I'm pretty good as he missed that three-pointer by a bunch, air ball.
Justin, Cowboys started off 2 for 2 from the three-point line. They're 1 of 7 since then. That's that steady guy. That's not what they do. They got to know who they are. Get back to being that Cowboys attacking the rim offense.
One guy who can attack, missed that one, is Brandon Mitchell-Day. Nice job defensively by Naz Meyer. As Leland Walker with the take and the lay-in. And he looks right at the referee and saying, no and one. Nice job by Leland Walker. He's a guy who needs to really go put up some points. He has 2. I was talking to him a little bit before the game, and I said, hey, when do you know that it's time for you to go and, try to go and be more aggressive as a scorer? He says, hey, depending on the way that the team is going and the score is going, I know that I have to pick my spots. And he did so there.
I think early on, he's such an unselfish player, okay? I love the way he plays. He's a true point. He's got true point guard instincts. But I think too many times he was looking to where his pass was going to be. He was getting tipped. He was getting stolen. To be that great passer, you have to have your eyes on the rim. You have to think score, and then the defense adjusts. It opens the pass.
Cam Hyatt will go to the free throw line as the foul is on Rojas. That's his first. This is going to be a one-on-one. One in. 18 foul. Quincy Hyatt knocked the first one down. Cam Hyatt was the Emerald Sound Conference Player of the Year out of high school. Played his high school ball in Edmonds, Wyoming. Edmonds, Washington. That is true. That's a 2-point advantage yet again for Dartmouth. Jared Harris in the ball game. That's stolen away. Bad pass there. Quickly. In the front court, the layup no good. Going to the line to shoot two will be Kareem Thomas.
Careless pass right there. Those turnovers way out here, close to the half court, those are going to lead to easy baskets at the other end. I don't hate that foul at all. You know, it's going to be an easy bucket. Make them go to the line and knock down some free throws.
Kareem Thomas, this will be the fourth and fifth time that he'll shoot free throws. 7 points. He now has 8 as a foul. It's on Nas Meyer. For Nas Meyer, that's his second personal foul. So the 2-time Mountain West Freshman of the Week. Now to go and sit on the bench with 6:21 to go.
Justin, this team that we saw against Texas Tech in Denver here, the last game at home, is not the team I'm seeing today. There was a real pop in their step. There was a crispness. You could see that there has been, you know, the tolls of the flu bug, are evident.
Well, so what do? Maybe hit a 3-pointer. Belic couldn't get that to go. Another miss. He gets his own rebound. The hard take blocked away. And tries to throw that one off the leg of a Dartmouth player. And Bennett goes to the ground. He has it. And we can have a timeout. Is there a timeout? Or do we have a jump ball?
Well, they could have called that jump ball about 10 seconds sooner if they wanted to. That ball was tied up for a while. But I will tell you what you don't do is you don't go Belic for 3. Belich going to the rim to get it blocked. You got to play as a team, and you got to let your guys that are really good at driving and attacking the rim, Leland Walker, Caden Bennett, let them go do them.
It has 7 assists to your point, but it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like they're popping the ball like you said earlier, as Dartmouth will have the ball as a possession arrow went the way of Dartmouth.
Those 2 of those 7 came in those first 2 possessions when they hit those threes.
Like we said, got into that lull early on. This is not your game. Shooting threes. 35% 3-point shooting team is Wyoming coming into this one. They're down by 3. Spinning around. Thomas, the mid-range J is no good, and that will be a foul, and the Bluebirds are out of Arena Auditorium as the foul will be on Jared Harris.
And rightly so. That's good defense. I'm sorry. That's good defense. You know, the Cowboys have changed how they guard that ball screen. They're not switching that 1-5 right now and leaving, Sani on Thomas. Harris is getting through that screen and he's picking it back up. That was good defense by Harris.
Yet again goes to the
Sometimes they say the ball doesn't fly.
no, doesn't.
Only when it goes in your favor, that's when they say it.
Sometimes that ball does not. Don't get me wrong now. Sometimes I'm looking at that ball, I'm like, wait a minute now. Gotta get some truth serum in. That's right. As Thomas makes the second one, by the way, substitution is Jackson Monroe. Back in his Connor Evans.
Okay, I like this here, right? I think the Cowboys, they're picking up full court pressure instead of just breaking it and letting, Dartmouth get back into their zone. I think you attack this full court pressure and then you go to score.
Yeah, but you also don't want to turn the ball over. That's exactly what Leland Walker has done. Another unforced error by Wyoming. That's their 5th turnover in the ballgame. So 5 turnovers for Wyoming, 5 turnovers for Dartmouth. Start to play the long game in this one, and you see just the way that Dartmouth is playing it. The zone is really giving Wyoming problems. minutes to go. Wyoming hopes that refrigerator comes in the form of their defense, and that's going to be a foul on Leland Walker, and he cannot believe it. By the way, 3 turnovers for the Cowboys in the last minute and 41 seconds. As Connor Anderson will go to the free throw line. Sundance Wicks talking to one of the referees and saying, wait a minute, he just scooped his arms under, scooped his arms under the hand of Leland Walker.
You know, either way, was there contact? Yes. Leland can't have his hand in there. That's a really headsy play, by Edmondson. However, we started this ball game letting them play a little bit. I think there's got to be that consistency. The players have adjusted, and now we're calling a much tighter whistle.
There's 10 team fouls that have been called on Wyoming, only 3 on Dartmouth. Again, you can't get rewarded at the free throw line if you're Wyoming if you're not taking the ball in. Nice pass. Harco, what a beautiful pass to Zadi with the layup.
I love Harco against the zone. I tell you, he's very mobile, he finds the open spots, and he really can pass the ball.
Wyoming down by 4. And looking to get it, still they do. A 2-on-1 opportunity. Here comes Leland Walker, blazing through the air. That should be a goal to it, it will be.
All right, that play totally set up by Caden Bennett's defense down here. Steals the ball. Leland Walker hits his ears back and goes nose to nose on that rim. And that's what the Cowboys need this to do. They need to speed this ball game up. It's too slow.
Isn't it amazing just what happens when the ball gets to the right hands?
Oh,
Leland Walker able to go quickly coast to coast and get the layup, by the way.
you get a guy in there that's been really critical for the Cowboys offense. Caden Bennett just got into this ball game and immediately, once again, he's making stuff happen.
So
4:20 to go in
we'll
the
see.
first half. You can't leave that guy wide open. There were 2 guys on Kareem Thomas, both left, and Thomas says, you know what, I'll go right